Dubai. Better Cool works fast to relieve acidity, heartburn, and indigestion. Trust Better Cool. Enjoy life. If symptoms persist, seek medical advice.
Once very good evening. This is News Tonight. My name is Patricia Lukuma. Elizabeth Nakakone is already with us and she'll shortly be joining the set. Well, starting off, let's look at what's making headlines. In our top stories tonight, President Yoweri Museveni urges Sudan leaders to work for prosperity of the people. And in the health sector, Malago Cancer Institute dismisses rumors of cancer radiotherapy machine breakdown. On the international scene, US sanctioned Turkish ministries following Syria offensive. And in sports, Uganda Woodball Open goes to Arua. Thank you so much for joining UBC TV. Just a sneak peek of what you will be having a little bit later in our guest corner. We will be, engaging ourselves with someone from the Petroleum Authority of Uganda. She is none other than the Corporate Affairs and Public Relations Officer of Petroleum Authority of Uganda, and we will be talking about the EACOP, that is the East African Crude Oil Pipeline. We want to know where we stand at the moment. How do we stand to benefit? That will be coming your way a little bit later within the bulletin. But first, the Presidential Press Unit. President Yoweri Museveni has urged political leaders in Africa to work for peace and prosperity of their people and stop wasting time on retrogressive sectarian issues like identity of tribe or religion. The president was this evening speaking at the launch of the Sudan peace talks at the Federal Hall in the South Sudan capital, Juba.
The 2 months peace talks convened by the President of South Sudan, Salva Kiir Mayardit, are aimed at bringing together the leaders of the Transitional Council of the Government of Sudan, represented at the meeting by General Abdel Fattah Burhan, and the over 9 opposition parties in that country that are attending. Regional leaders who witnessed the formal opening of the Sudanese peace talks included Prime Minister of Ethiopia, Dr. Abiy Ahmed, the Prime Minister of Egypt, Mustafa Madbouli, and members of the diplomatic corps. Speaking at the launch of the Sudan peace talks at the Freedom Hall in South Sudan's capital of Juba, President Museveni likened managing society to a doctor who must correctly diagnose an ailment of a patient and prescribe the correct medicine.
Managing society is like being a doctor. If you are a doctor and you do a wrong diagnosis of a patient, that patient will never get cured. Because the wrong diagnosis will lead you to a wrong prescription. And the patient will never be cured. And the political leaders managing society are like doctors. You are a social political doctor. You are looking at the society. What is the problem of this society?
He strongly urged political leaders in Africa to work for peace and prosperity of their people and stop wasting time on retrogressive sectarian issues like identity of tribe or religion.
And it has opportunism. People who are ideologically bankrupt, they have no alternative except to use the intihazia of religion, of tribe, of race. This is a crime. against Africa.
The Prime Minister of Ethiopia, who is also the current chairperson of the Intergovernmental Authority for Development, IGAD, Dr. Abiy Ahmed, highly commended the regional leaders for manifesting their commitment to collective peace and prosperity by attending the launch of the Sudan peace talks, despite the short notice of the invitation.
I appreciate and encourage the initiative of President Salva Kiir and also call upon the IGAD to closely follow and support the process. Excellencies, over the past years, I believe we have demonstrated our solidarity for the peace, and there is nothing that we cannot achieve as a region.
He thanked President Salva Kiir for bringing all stakeholders together by hosting the peace talks. He, however, stressed that it was time for the country in the region to focus on building robust economies.
What we have achieved together in the spirit of November are building blocks for our region's shared goals and collective prosperity.
The hosting President Salva Kiir thanked his guests for gracing the launching of the ceremony.
Great pleasure to see all of you distinguished guests joining us in Juba to participate in this historical inaugural occasion for the restoration of peace, security, economic, and political stability in the Republic of Sudan. The event we are inaugurating today is the outcome of our continuous determination to work for peace and stability in our second home, the Republic of Sudan.
He also commended the Prime Minister of Ethiopia, Abiy Ahmed, for having scooped the Nobel Peace Prize, describing the achievement as that of Africa. He, however, urged all parties at the talks to take advantage of the dialogue and come up with concrete resolutions that will ensure everlasting peace in Sudan.
السيدات والسادة الحضور، أود أن أعرب عن تقدير مصر لنجاح السودان الشقيق.
The leaders of the Transitional Council of Sudan, General Fattah Burhan, commended regional leaders for attending the opening ceremony and also thanked the opposition leaders for being present. President Museveni was later seen off at Juba International Airport by the first Vice President of South Sudan, Taban Dengai. Others at the airport bid farewell to the President included the Minister of Defense of South Sudan, Manyang Juk, that of Energy, Dr. Diu Matok Ding, and the Information Minister, Michael Makwei.
And in the health sector, Mulago Cancer Institute has dismissed allegations that the radiotherapy machine for cancer treatment has been broken down. The executive director, Cancer Institute, Dr. Oren Jackson, says it has been shut down to carry out comprehensive service to upgrade the software.
Radiotherapy is a treatment given to cancer patients to alleviate cancer compression in emergency cases. This machine at Mulago Radiotherapy Department has been shut down for comprehensive servicing. The service is done by the manufacturers annually, and it takes between 2 to 3 days. It is the second time the machine is being serviced since it was installed.
Allay the anxiety of the public about the allegation that is going around that the radiotherapy treatment machine has broken down. It's not true. The machine hasn't broken down. We have just simply shut down the machine for a routine comprehensive service, which is going to be taking place between tomorrow and maybe the following day. The expert who are coming to do this service from the manufacturing company.
Dr. Orem of Mulago Cancer Institute explains that there is no patient backlog.
And the process, that means we will still go ahead. If, for instance, we wanted to treat you with chemotherapy and then after that radiotherapy, we are just going to have a small pause in between, and then you are treated. So there is no alternative. They are going to go through the planned process.
The cancer department is operational with patients receiving treatment. Dr. Kanyike Daniel says that people with different types of cancer are prepared between 1 day to a month or more before receiving treatment, so this cannot be affected when this radiotherapy machine is off.
But the other group, which we call emergency cases, where their life is compromised because of that lack of treatment, we have created alternative means of making sure that we control that disease until our machine comes back. Some have sent them for chemotherapy, others have been used to give high-dose chemotherapy, others have started on the emergency brachytherapy, high-dose. You have a cancer of the breast, and the cancer of the breast is proven that it has gone to the spine. There are chances that that spine might collapse and compress your back. And when you compress the spine, definitely their nerves will be compressed and dead.
Shutting down this machine affects working on new patients who make 10 of the number of patients that visit the department every day. Meanwhile, the institute will install 2 more radiotherapy machines by end of December. I'm Nafka Farida and Helen Barbara reporting.
Now straight away into the business world, value chain misuse in agricultural sector is an obstacle to the agribusiness development in the country. While evaluating agribusiness market systems approach, the International Fertilizer Development Center states that Ugandan farmers are more of quick profit oriented. It looks like the business is sustainable.
The International Fertilizer Development Center launched a 4-year Reach Uganda project in 2016 to improve farmers' market engagement and improve households' resiliency and reliability of agribusiness. This was through a market systems approach targeting over 40,000 farmers. In the evaluation engagement, Ugandan farmers are found to be more money-oriented than quality and business development.
Who are interested in developing sustainable profit models. There are a lot of companies out there who are frankly cannibalizing the supply chain. They are not really interested in investing in the value chains that they're working in. So finding good partners. We are looking for long-term sustainable results. We can do quick impact things, quick high impact things, but to have sustainable results in the long term is a challenge because it requires patience.
This project is pushed by the Kingdom of the Netherlands to improve food security.
Of course, the investments at farmers' level stays there. Farmers get new ideas, farmers get the ability to produce more. Nobody will take that away from the farmer, that kind of knowledge. The importance is how do we link this farmer to the wider market systems.
Some of the implementers of the Reach Uganda project have observations on the market agriculture integration.
Also structured financial incentives on production and marketing to smallholder farmers. So for every kilogram that was marketed to a smallholder farmer, we provided financial incentives to these businesses.
Understanding the incentives, the farmers who are engaged in production can be attracted to in order to intervene with good practices to improve food security.
Meanwhile, rice farmers want Uganda Bureau of Standards to widen national regulations to the small-scale rice farmers for quality achievement.
If you have to become a rice miller, you need to have a cleaner, you need to have a dryer, you need to have a husker, you need to have a destoner. So those are the prerequisites. The government itself is making a mistake by providing these simple, cheap and cheerful hullers to the farmers. Because it's easy to get votes, these are very cheap. So when you go for campaigning or whatever, you distribute a lot of hullers. But actually you're degrading the quality and actually not making those farmers produce quality which is unfit for sale in Uganda. So
the International Fertilizer Development Center recommends that smallholder farmers in developing countries require a combination of agriculture and business skills to truly succeed in market systems. Abdul Nasir Luwama for UBC News.
Every dream has a challenging journey. Ours began in 1998
With a mission to drive the development of a robust communications sector in Uganda, we created structures to champion the dream. We've evolved, made discoveries, supported great minds, empowered Ugandans, and fostered a vibrant culture, enabling communication for all. Down the years, we've created memories and networks, uniting generations and building great partnerships. Together, we can go even further. UCC, celebrating 20 years of achievements.
Reward check target. Dial star 162 hash. Get 100% on data and bonus. Win instantly with Mega Master Pay. Just recharge and hit your target. Katirichawati.
Mega Master Pay from Airtel is back, and everyone, we mean everyone, gets a bonus. All you have to do, check your target, recharge, get 100% bonus on data and minutes. Dial star 162 hash today to know your target.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Mommy, you can touch me. You can touch me. Daddy, what's wrong?
I've had a long day, Angel, and I have a bad headache.
Oh, I'll give you something that will make you feel better if you promise to play with us.
Headache? Toothache. Unapoumwa, unataka kitulizo kwa haraka gani? Mara moja. Pain and fever reliever. A quality product from Beta Healthcare, contains paracetamol, caffeine and aspirin. Beta Healthcare, caring for all. If symptoms persist, seek medical advice.
Measles and rubella outbreaks are still being reported in some districts in Uganda, putting the lives of our children at risk. In order to stop these outbreaks and maintain a polio-free Uganda, the Ministry of Health has planned a national measles, rubella and polio immunization campaign for all children under 15 years of age on 16th to 20th October 2019, starting 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. All vaccines are safe, effective, and free. Parents and caretakers are hereby asked to take all children under 15 years of age for immunization at the nearest health facility or immunization post. Ministry of Health also calls upon everybody to report any child with a fever and generalized skin rash to the nearest health facility or health worker immediately. This could be measles or rubella. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health with support from World Health Organization and UNICEF.
There must be a madness that has taken us all. When the life of an animal means nothing at all. But for all those creatures with stories they cannot tell, we will be the voice to help end their living hell.
The Petroleum Authority of Uganda invites the general public for the public hearings for the Environmental and Social Impact Assessment Report for the proposed East African Crude Oil Pipeline EACOP project. The proposed EACOP project involves the development of a 1,443-kilometer heat-traced, insulated and buried pipeline from Hoima in Uganda to Tanga in Tanzania. In Uganda, the EACOP will run for 296 kilometers and traverse 10 districts of Hoima, Chikube, Kakumido, Chankwanzi, Gomba, Mubende, Luengo, Sembabule, Chotera and Rakai. The public hearings will be held from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. as follows. Monday, 21st October 2019 at Chisita Primary School, Chisita A Village, Kakumido District. Wednesday, 23rd October 2019 at Kasana Grounds, Chenda Trading Center, Mubende District. Friday, 25th October 2019 at Luanda Public Grounds, Luanda Village, Rakai District. Copies of the ESIA report are available at the offices and the websites of the Petroleum Authority of Uganda, the National Environment Management Authority, Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development, and the headquarters of all the affected districts. Any comments and views should be addressed to the presiding officer at the address below.
Welcome back. It's our guest corner, and this time around, like we're following that advert that just passed by a Petroleum Authority. As we all know, it is a government institute that is mandated to regulate and monitor the petroleum sector, and considering the fact that the public hearings are just in about days, so we as a national broadcaster want to avail to the public there, do a bit of sensitization for the public to understand what's happening. And the public hearing is a mandate from NEMA for every project that is risk-oriented into the country. On set, I'm joined by Miss Gloria Sebikari.
Yes, thank you, Patricia.
I pronounced it well. Gloria Sebikari, she's none other than the Corporate Affairs and Public Relations Officer of PAO, Petroleum Authority of Uganda. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Patricia, for hosting us in the studio this evening.
Okay, just before we get into the details, we know the Petroleum Authority exists practically to contribute to Uganda's socio-economic and transformation in the area of resource management, in the oil sector. True.
Yes,
so
that's true.
A little bit about ECOP. When people hear ECOP, they don't understand what ECOP is all about. It is a project, of course, for power. Yes. But what is it? Give us an in-depth of what's all about.
The ECOP is the East African Crude Oil Pipeline, and it is a pipeline that is planned to run from Hoima in Uganda to Tanga in Tanzania. The genesis of the ECOP project starts in 2006, when Uganda confirmed commercial oil and gas in the country. And in order for us as a country to actualize, to get money or benefit from this crude oil resource, we need to commercialize it. That means we need to send it to the market. And government and its partners, that's the oil companies, agreed on a commercialization strategy that has three main uses for the crude oil. One is development of a refinery, a 60,000 barrel per day refinery, which will be developed in Hoima. Secondly is export of crude oil for it to access the international market, and that is through this pipeline, the ECOP pipeline. And thirdly, use of petroleum to generate power. So this ECOP, the East African Crude Oil Pipeline, is one of the commercialization strategies that involves development of a 1,443 pipeline from Hoima in Uganda to Tanga in Tanzania.
Okay, so basically you're giving us the whole project lineup, but we want to understand, consider the fact that the pipeline has its roots. And these routes are different locations within our country.
Yes.
So we want to understand, how do people benefit from ECOP?
Well, the pipeline is going to traverse 10 districts in Uganda. So of the 1,400 kilometers or so, about 296 kilometers will be in Uganda. So the development of the pipeline involves a number of activities. We'll have construction of different facilities. We'll have the pipeline itself. We'll have construction of pump stations, electrical substations, because it has to be heated, and then camp yards for residents, and also storage of materials. So in the construction of those activities, of course, there are opportunities for providing goods and services for Ugandans. There are also opportunities to get jobs. We have opportunities to build capacity. People are going to be trained. Over 160,000 new jobs are going to be created from the different projects, and ECOP is one of the projects. So people are getting trained in welding skills. Today there was a graduation for welders in Hoima, people who have been certified to international standards to work on these projects. We also know that It will help develop other sectors of the economy like agriculture, like manufacturing, because some of these materials are going to be sourced locally from our economy. So those are some of the benefits that will come out of the project, and that is why this process of developing an environment and social impact assessment is very important, because it details both the positive impacts of the project on the economy and the people, and also looks at what negative impacts may come about and what do we need to do to mitigate these negative impacts and enhance the positive impacts.
So in due time, we're going to be having a public hearing.
Yes.
Some of us may understand the public hearing. I know that NEMA requires, any organization that comes up with a risk-oriented project to present a public hearing, to ask the views of the people. Do you agree this thing to come in this location?
Yes, exactly.
Are you aware of the risks? Okay, so just break it down for the audience.
Well, a public hearing, as you've said, is basically a forum that brings together all stakeholders of the project. We have the project developers that include government of Uganda, we're partnering with government of Tanzania, plus the upstream licensed companies in Uganda. Then we have the people who are affected by the project, because of course it's passing on land, that means it's affecting people's land. Then we have the general public, we have the business community, women and youth groups, the general public, all stakeholders, people who are impacted by the project, to come together and give their views on the environment and social impact assessment report. This report was undertaken by the project developers and submitted to the National Environment Management Authority. Then, in line with the law, NEMA requested the Petroleum Authority of Uganda as the lead agency to organize these public hearings, to bring together the different stakeholders to give their views, opinions, and this will help NEMA in their decision making as to whether or not to give an environment and social impact assessment certificate to the project, and whether it has to come with certain requirements or conditions, etc. So it helps in the process of reviewing this report.
Now, with this assessment, have you identified any sort of impact in the report?
Well, there are a number of impacts documented in the report. They are categorized into the economic impact, some of which I've mentioned, the jobs, the goods and service provision, the negative side with other sectors. On the negative side, of course, we are a biodiverse rich country, and the pipeline is crossing some biodiverse rich spots like wetlands, like forest reserves, and so there's need to ensure that there is coexistence between the pipeline and the environment. Then also tourism is a big earner for our economy. If it crosses some tourist sites, what offsets can we put in place to ensure that
the tourism sector is strengthened,
even as this pipeline goes off? Of course, there's also the people. There is about 1,400 hectares of land required right from Hoima to Mutukula in Chotera for the project. And the land belongs to the people in Uganda, and so people are going to be displaced. So how do we ensure that their livelihoods are protected?
Good deal.
Yes, that they're compensated, that they're resettled adequately.
Not compensated. Compensated is a very low word. They have a good deal for their land.
Exactly, yes, that's true, because it comes in two forms. There's compensation cash for the property and the crops and etc. that you've lost, compensation for land, or it can be land for land, and in addition to that, there's provision for livelihood restoration programs.
The choice is for the people.
The choice is for the people. They choose how they want to be compensated, and which projects would help them restore their
Can we go
livelihoods.
through the dates for the public hearing?
Yes, so there will be 3 public hearings. There'll be next week. On 21st, that's on Monday, we'll be in Kakumiro district in Kisita village at the primary school. Then on Wednesday, 23rd, we'll be in Mubende at Kasana public grounds. And then on 25th, we'll be in Rakai district at Luanda public grounds. These public hearings are open to the general public, but even this week, we are not only just holding the public hearings. This week, we are holding public dialogues in all the 10 districts with the project affected persons, with the district leaders, sharing with them the information. We've produced summarized versions in different languages of the the environment and social impact assessment report. These are available online, and even people who are not able to attend the public hearings can send in their comments either by phone or by email or visiting our offices or the offices of NEMA or any of the 10 district headquarters to give their views.
Thank you so much, Gloria, for being part of us.
Patricia.
Well, that has been Gloria, the Corporate Affairs and Public Relations Officer. Just to take you a little bit back, we will be, of course, as a national broadcaster, we will avail you all this information before the D-Day. But 21st is Kasita, 23rd is Kasana, and then 25th is Rakai District. It is very logical for the Petroleum Authority of Uganda to first come and appeal to the public and give you the option or the opportunity to actually give your views of what you think about the ECOP project. But at the same time, we appeal to all Ugandans. It is free of charge.
Yes, it's free of charge.
Very free of charge.
Access to the reports is free. Access to the information is free of charge. There's no charge at all. So please come and participate in the public.
We will be calling her back here to give us a debrief after the whole project is done. I'm talking about the public hearing. My name is Patricia Lukoma. Nakakoni Elizabeth has been with us on sign language. As we sign out, we'll leave you with Molen Kenyana. Stay tuned.
Hello there, it's nice to have you for tonight's weather report. My name is Molen Kenyana, bringing you the latest weather updates. Now, we've had a continuation of wet weather activities across much of the country, but we will be seeing a slight reduction for the next couple of days, especially across the northern parts of the country, but we will be seeing as well a pickup of wet weather activities by Friday, moving over to the weekend. Now, for today, let's start off with our 24-hour report. Well, according to available data, by 9 o'clock this morning, we had Kabale reporting the highest amount of rainfall, that was 26.9 millimeters. We also had a total of 16.3 across Tororo. Now move on to our satellite images, where we're seeing that from the satellite we can see that the rain belt is now aligned mostly towards the western sector of our country as well as the southern. Now that explains the rains that we are seeing across the southern part of the country as well as the western. Now we expect this similar system even tomorrow, but to be precise, let's take a look at Wednesday's weather forecast. Well, in the morning we'll start off with light thunder showers. Those will be across the Lake Victoria Basin as well as parts of southwestern Uganda and also a few areas within western Uganda. Now elsewhere in the country we'll see mostly intervals of sunny and cloudy conditions. Now later on in the afternoon, we're forecasting rainy conditions across the western stretch. We'll be seeing some of those thunder showers again across eastern Uganda as well as the Lake Victoria Basin. Now I do hope you have your windscreen wipers ready, and you might also remember to carry that warm jacket. Now like I mentioned earlier, the northern sector we're expecting less chances of rainfall. We'll move over to our daytime highs. We're likely to have a maximum of 27. That will be across Kampala. We'll see temperatures going up to 28 region, and also likely to have very cool weather across Kabale Highlands. We'll see temperatures going up to a maximum of 22 degrees centigrade. Now move on to some of the world cities. We're forecasting rainy conditions across Kigali as well as the rainy conditions that we're likely to have in Brussels. Temperatures in Kigali though will be up to 24, and we're forecasting warm weather across Dubai. Temperatures will go up to 37 degrees centigrade. And with that, we wrap up today's weather report. Thank you very much for joining us. Now, for more information, please do not hesitate to visit our website. My name is Molen Kenyana. Have a good day tomorrow.